Oh yeah! Welcome to How Can She?
Snap.
This is a Marvel Snap podcast dedicated to the filthy casual. I'm the kid, one half of the Super Snap Bros, here with my brother from the same mother, Mr.
No big deal, baby.
Oh yeah, we're here with one of our favorite guests of all time, for the time, always and forever and ever, the Foam Dart Wrangler himself, aka the NerfHerder. NerfHerder, how you doing, man? How are you?
I actually got the Foam Dart Wrangler thing this time. I was like, I remember that.
I was like, I'm going through it. I'm saying it again. I don't care. How are you, man?
I'm good. Things are well. Channel's going well. I'm happy.
Heck yeah, the editing game is on fire right now. I love it. The last
you.
one, dude. The last one with the you were like the Dracula and the mouth was moving. I was crying.
I don't know why, but putting mouths in like other characters is it's golden humor to me.
It really, me too. I don't know why. Like, I'm just so immature, but like every time I see it, I'm like, oh, this is pure gold. It's great.
It's on the same level almost of like farting. Like farting is always funny no matter what.
Classic.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's awesome. But yeah, man, thanks for coming back on. We're happy to have you, man. It's gonna be a good episode. And then yeah, nothing crazy going on. We're wrapping up the season. We got Venom that came out. We got 7 cards that released this season, so we're gonna do the season recap here, and then we're gonna look to the future because we're gonna shut the door on the past and look to the future and talk about the cards that are coming out next month. And that's it. Let's get it. All right, NerfHerder, man. How you liking Marvel Snap so far? How's this Anti-Venom card?
Marvel Snap's good. The card Anti-Venom itself, it's weird, dude. It feels good, but it's one of those cards where like you have to play it and then do the thing. I don't know. That doesn't make sense. But anyways, I like the card. It's pretty much Iron Lad with an extra step. I've been like shouting this repeatedly and it's starting to drive me a little crazy. But it's solid, but it doesn't feel super duper great. Sort of like Iron Lad.
Yeah. I feel like I got him and I just kind of been playing him in a Sarah shell. I can't talk. Sarah's just good to begin with. I saw Tucker post one with like Ajax, and maybe we could talk about that deck in a little bit. But I think KX4N was playing it. But like the cards impressed me. Like it's a lot better. I didn't think it was going to be that good, honestly. So I had very low expectations.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool to play him on 4/7s. Like nothing to smile about. Or nothing, whatever the
nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, whatever. And then if you have Luke Cage, I mean,
right,
and playing like an Affliction type build, so I'm having like Man Thing and the US Agent in there, and you get Luke Cage, and all of a sudden you get all that power back, and it just amplifies everything. So in that kind of a shell, he seems to be doing pretty damn good. I'm happy to draw him every single time.
Yeah.
I was like some of these new cards, I'm like whatever, fuck, I don't. But yeah, this guy, he's been pretty good. I don't know. I've just been impressed by him. He's not like broken or overpowered or anything,
right.
And he's not great. But I don't think he's bad. Like I kind of really like him.
No, he's not. People are shitting on it. But I think Anti-Venom's like the perfect example of like when a new card comes out, people try to do crazy, absurd things and like extreme examples of how the card could be used. But like really, like you said, in a Sarah control deck or just whatever, it's just good like as value. Even if the thing you get is 0/0, as long as the effect is decent, you're playing a card extra that you wouldn't have been able to otherwise. So I think when more people or the community catches on to like just playing this card in just regular old decks and the fact that it's okay there, I think then we'll actually see Anti-Venom being played a lot more. Because right now it's like people are just trying to do stupid shit with it. And I don't think that's the way you should play this card.
No, I agree with you. Because yeah, like even in this like Sarah deck, it's like you hit almost any card is like an unreal hit. Like if you hit Luke Cage, it's great. Red Guardian's not that bad. If you hit Ajax, he's a 0/0, but still like you're gonna be like there's gonna be a ton of cards that are afflicted. That he's gonna be a 0, probably like 10.
Yeah.
Sarah is good. I mean, they're all there's a lot of just damn good cards like Hazmat, a US Agent, even Man Thing, a 0/0 Man Thing. Like sure you lose a 7 power, but it's a 0 cost and you're getting the effect. It's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Then if you get Luke Cage, you get the 7 power back, so it's pretty sweet.
Right.
It's just and then and even if it like completely whiffs on like something that like is completely garbage, I mean, you're playing a 4/7, so like you're not that mad about that, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not Stegron, but it's got the Stegron stats. But yeah, no big deal. What do you think of this card? You didn't pick it up, huh?
No, I mean, I kind of try to plan out my month, and like you said, there's been 7 cards, so I gotta save the resources somewhere, and I thought the other 6 cards were, other than Agony, of course, were a little more interesting than this one. So I didn't pick it up. I'm happy they buffed it from a 4/6 to a 4/7. I thought I thought 4/6 was gonna be bad. If this thing came out as a 4/6, I thought it was gonna be kind of like a bad card. So it's nice to give us some good stats. But the 4/7 stat line can be a good card now. I mean, you guys are talking about you just play it in a good cards deck. You make the card 0. You add a little snap equity if they're not like Mobiusing you or something. And it seems like a solid card. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna miss out on too much fun from not getting it though. I don't think this is gonna be like essential to the collection. Like an Annihilus or Agent Venom or something like this, where you really just want that card in your collection. So. I feel good about skipping it so far, but it feels like a pretty solid card anyway as a 4/7.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, what do you? Well, let's talk about the meta a little bit. What do you guys think about the meta right now? What are you guys seeing out there? NerfHerder, let's start with you, man.
Honestly, every game that I get into, I'm not surprised at whatever it is I play against. I feel like at least where I'm ranked, I played like 10 different decks in a row, and I think it's interesting. Maybe it's not like super exciting or whatever, or maybe some people don't like the type of decks that are being played, but I think you can kind of do whatever you want and be successful. I hit rank 400 playing like Discard, and Discard's like a notoriously like linear deck that can't really handle curveballs at all. So I don't know. I think you can kind of do whatever.
Yeah,
and I like
no
it.
big deal. What are you saying?
Well, I'm happy you brought up Discard. I did 3 Infinity runs, and my best one was Discard by far. I didn't quite make it. I got 4 wins, and we got down to the last win. And, I hit an Arsham Gamer, and it was just the most disgusting match I've ever played in my life. Like, it was just like I play Lady Sif on 3, and he would play Leech with priority to leech the Apocalypse. So then I lose my Apocalypse. And then the next game, it would be like turn 1 Spider-Ham hits the Morbius. Then the next game, I'm going to play, the first 2 locations are bad to play Morbius. Play Morbius on the right location. Right location reveals turn 3. It's nowhere. No ongoing effects are like literally all these things happen. And he was just drawing the nuts every time. There was no like random cards. He drew like his cards every time. So it was just like, there's nothing I could do. There's sometimes just nothing you could do,
Why does
especially against Arsham Gamer, right? If they are rolling hot. So
Arsham
but
always
I think I was
feels
putting out like good power all the time, So I was like this score and discard stuff I think is really good. And that's my best deck of at least of the last week. I mean, I've basically been spamming the Bazaar since Friday, to be honest with you. But like Monday through Thursday, I've had the most success with just a scoring deck. I just pulled one off of Untapped. I didn't really cook one or anything. I said, what's It's like what's a good statted discard deck, since that's like the optimizer deck or whatever. And I didn't feel like trying to cook. And it ended up giving me the Lockjaw one. So that was pretty interesting. Actually, like
Yours.
NerfHerder, is this your deck? So
I remember a video on the Lockjaw one.
Yeah,
well,
that's
NerfHerder,
fine.
you might have the highest statted discard deck then. Is it Scorn Blade Morbius, Swarm Colleen, Gambit Lady Sif, Dracula Lockjaw Proxima Modoc Apoc?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, boom. So I've just been playing NerfHerder's deck. And NerfHerder, we almost got the border, but luckily I got enough boosters and I got my God Split on Storm. So we got Ink Storm with Blue Crackle. I just bought the blue neon border. The God Split, we got it. That's all we wanted. If this was the Storm Conquest. I probably won't play Conquest for another 4 months, but hey, it's been a good ass time. I had fun.
Nice.
Yeah. That Lockjaw discard list was the most fun I had with Score and Discard, by the way. I gave it a shout out a few weeks ago. Like that was a great deck that you made. The video was great too, and it was like, man, yeah, you get all these like free swarms at the end. You can just throw them in the Lockjaw. It's like awesome.
Yeah, at first
Which
you
is
look at a deck and you're like, the fuck is Lockjaw even doing here? And you're like, when it's good, it's really good. But most of the time it's just like, whatever, you just discard it. So,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
That's it's and Lockjaw's fun. I like that card.
I haven't played it in so long, NerfHerder, that like the first conquest match I was in, I didn't realize that it was the old Lockjaw effect. I was still playing like it was once per turn. You know when it used to be once per turn?
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, well, I want more power on my Lockjaw lane anyway. So, and then I think I just played both swarms into it on the last turn. And they both cycled out. I was like, oh, fuck, what's that? What is the old Lockjaw? This is great. So, like, he's actually sick, man. I think he's awesome in this deck. I think it's a genius inclusion. Like, great way to just dig for your Dracula, dig for your MODOK specifically. I think that's, like, the main thing. You didn't
Yeah,
try
right.
MODOK or Dracula on curve. Let's go into the deck. I mean, you have really good odds. You only got 2-3 cards left. Like, spam a bunch of cards, and you could throw scoring in there too. Get a 1/4 scoring. Like, fuck it, throw it in the Lockjaw lane. Let's see what happens.
Right,
Searching for
exactly.
Gambit. You're playing some Agent Venom, Iron Man guy, Tribunal players. Just go for Gambit. Just try to get Gambit as many times as you can. And yeah, I mean, awesome deck, man. Hey, nice cook there for it. It's a beauty.
Sweet.
Yeah. And yeah, I actually got I've been pretty lucky against the Arshan gamers in the Conquest so far. With the Sarah, I've been shitting on them, especially if they have Blob. Shadow King just wrecks them.
Yeah.
Especially when they play Blob on 5, it's awesome. I haven't had like they make me the most nervous in Conquest because you never know what the hell they're gonna do, and they have all this energy and random stuff. Like
For real.
on the ladder, it's not. I feel like it's not that bad. You just retreat. If they're getting too ridiculous. But in Conquest, you're stuck with them. You're like, it's like you're in here with me, like the Rorschach.
I'd rather play against Sarah Control than Erisham because at least with Sarah Control, you know exactly what they're gonna do. With Erisham, they could do all the bullshit that Sarah Control does, and then also play a blob, and you're like, the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah, and like you never know if they're gonna have like tech and stuff. If they're just gonna randomly generate like 2 Shang-Chis or something, you're like, God damn it, this bullshit. Like, what is going on? But yeah, it's been
overall though, I don't mind playing against the Arsham. Like, I think it's fine. Like, I think that with all the changes, like moving it to 15, and a bunch of those like Loki just get absolutely nuked. Last Loki change. So I think now it doesn't feel too bad playing against it. I just happened. This guy just all the locations, everything is just he got the god roll. It was what it was. There was just nothing I could do. Every match was just horseshit.
Yeah.
I kind of like agree with you, NerfHerder, man. Like with the meta, like I feel like it's just it's pretty damn good right now. Like anything you like, I think I'm like 20,000 or something. Like in my scrub tier, it's it's still good out there. It's you can literally like play anything, win with anything. There's nothing that seems extremely oppressive right now. I don't get like extremely pissed off, but like. Even the Agent Venom stuff, like I'm not too bothered by it right now, honestly.
Yeah, and even the Agent Venom thing, there's like 10 different ways you could play like a small ball Agent Venom deck.
Yeah.
So even if you play like against 10 different Agent Venom decks, they're all going to be different in some way, which is cool.
Yeah. So
I'm a little bit bothered by the Agent Venom stuff. I'll say that. Right. I mean, I don't know. It just seems like so good. The card just seems
it is very good. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. And I played it like a lot in the first 2 weeks of the season. So like, I don't want to play it now. I'm like bored of playing it. So it's like, now I got to play against it. It's like, I could just play it, but I don't want to, I want to play other stuff.
That's fair enough.
It's I don't know, man. It's a really fucking good card.
Yeah. I don't mind. I don't know. I don't mind it too much. I wouldn't even mind if they didn't nerf it anytime soon. So if they left it how it is for a while, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, same.
But yeah. I don't know.
But if they did take it to like a 2/3 that adds 3, then sure.
Yeah. Or
I still think it's good.
4. Yeah, like the 2/4 is a pretty damn good stat line, and the effect is really good. Like if it was a 2/2 or a 2/3, I think that'd be fine too.
Yeah,
honestly.
let's get the base stats down. I mean, you could keep the 4 stuff, then it's different than Bast and Valk, and just let's get the base stats. I mean, you should make it like a 2-1, honestly, or 2-0. Like I don't know, I don't think it should be a 2-4. I think it's ridiculous that it's a 2-4.
Yeah, but then it gives Bast more value, and those cards kind of go hand in hand. But yeah, I mean,
yeah, it's okay though.
There's no reason to
it'll take away the consistency, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that it's a 2-4 is crazy.
Yeah, kind of is.
Yeah, let me just talk about this Sarah deck here,
Okay.
just because it's kind of cool. Before we go on to the season recap here, because I really like this. I found it. Tucker posted it
Cool.
on X, and I think he said KX4N was playing it. So this is Zabu, Hazmat, Invisible Woman, Shadow King, U.S. Agent, Luke Cage, Red Guardian, Anti Venom, Man Thing, Typhoid Mary, Sarah, and Ajax.
Oh, Typhoid.
And I'm not gonna lie. I think I've played like 10 conquest matches with this in silver and gold. I haven't lost once.
Nice.
And I think when he posted, he was like 6-0 or something. I'm like, all right, I'll try this. I'm like, I haven't played Sarah in a while. It's not usually my flavor, but I'm like, I want to play the new card Anti Venom, and it's got some, cards. A Man Thing I haven't played in a while. Ajax I haven't played in a while, so I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot. It's ridiculous, man. This deck is insane. Man Thing and US Agent are just insane cards on their own.
Yeah, they feel really good when you play them at the same time.
They feel so good. Typhoid, the new Typhoid Mary feels really, really good. Even if you don't get Luke Cage, like it's just a 4/10 that you can minimize the downside. Like you can play one or two things in that lane, or you don't have to play anything in the lane.
Do you think Iron Lad might be good there?
Instead of Typhoid?
Yeah.
I guess it could be. It's nice to have the stats.
Sure.
Iron Lad,
What card are you
I would
putting in
worry.
there?
Iron Lad.
Ah, the lad. I like
I'd
it.
worry if it hit something weird like Hazmat when you don't want it to hit. But I guess that would probably be fine.
Oh,
But
then you
then
get
you're
two
drawing a
hazmats.
hazmat.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a double
I
hazmat.
guess. Yeah, Iron Lad could be good. I don't know. I like playing with the new toys. I haven't played with Typhoid Mary in a while, and I had this pretty sweet pixel variant. So I got
The
nothing
secret
else.
hero of these decks is Invisible Woman for sure, though.
Man, Invisible Woman's awesome.
Yeah.
Especially with a Shadow King, a Red Guardian, or like even not really so much Red Guardian, but like Shadow King's great, Hazmat's great,
Yeah.
and then just sneaking in like a U.S. Agent or like a
US
Man
Agent.
Thing.
Mhm.
Or even a Man Thing. Like if they start stacking the Invisible Woman lane and it's like small cards and they think they're gonna win, like a Man Thing just owns them. And same with US Agent. Like they'll sometimes put like an Iron Man there and then like it just wrecks them. But yeah, Anti Venom like doesn't really have, aside from Invisible Woman, doesn't really have any like horrible hits. Like they're all pretty good. I guess Zabu late like on turn 5 is not great, but
Yeah.
you don't really mind playing anything for 0 in this deck. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like it. I don't know, it's been a lot of fun. I don't know. Do you guys have any decks you want to talk about? Anything crazy or no?
Well, I brought up NerfHerder's deck. I mean, I don't know. I did cook a little clog
yeah.
build. I mean, I don't think clog is dead. I mean, you don't have to like build it or anything, but I don't know. I've just been playing like a clog deck with I'll just say it quickly: Hood, Titania, White Widow armor. All right, so we got the White Widow armor. It's a buff, by the way. It's a -4, and then Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, Shadow King, Green Goblin, Magic, Debris, Viper, Doc Ock, and Cannonball. I was playing it with. I just wanted to try to make like a clog deck with Misery. Like that was the whole point of playing this deck, because it's like, all right, let's actually try to play Misery, like kind of what people were saying at the beginning before all the cards that people wanted to use it with got nerfed. But I ended up just putting Doc Ock instead. Just felt like way more reliable. It's a 4/8. It always clogs. You just play. They got 3 cards in a lane. Doc Ock just feels amazing. So, yeah, that deck's actually been pretty solid. It didn't quite get there on the Infinite Conquest. I think I lost in the 3rd match, but it's been a climber for me on the ladder. And Shadow King's just busted right now. So I think just having Shadow King in a deck that doesn't reduce your own shit is like pretty nice.
Yeah, if you put Shadow King in any deck, it literally base win rate will be like 45%.
Yeah, no, you start there. Yeah, exactly. Then you have to put a deck
That's
around.
great.
Oh, the deck code. My bad.
Only way to go up. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think
chat
Clog
on
is
the
like
right.
super dead. I think there's no like turn 6 Cosmo for the most part to stop your Cannonball. Like, should be okay.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know why I didn't think of that first. Sorry.
That's all right.
It's real stupid. I just went and like screenshot it and clipped it. Fucking real dumbass way to send that to you.
No, it's all good. It's all good. NerfHerder's got a deck here.
That's what I've been playing Anti Venom with the most.
Yeah, go through it. Oh, this is great.
Ooh.
This is great. Yeah, I felt like Tribunal would be so sick. Any of these things are so good. Go through it. Go through it.
Yeah, it's a it's a Tribunal deck. But so you know how lately they've been like Mr. Negative decks now.
Yeah.
where they just use Mr. Negative really as an energy cheat more than like a power thing. Anti-Venom is just a better card than Mr. Negative in this scenario because everything you hit is fine, totally fine. And like it doesn't really matter if your Tribunal 0 power, your Onslaught 0 power, when you're stacking all that shit together, it's still ridiculous. Yeah, and it just makes it so much more consistent between Jubilee, Iron Lad, and Anti Venom all in the same deck. You're never not like at least putting, generally getting the whole combo. But even then, like worst case scenario, you usually have like 24 power in all the lanes, and it's really hard to screw up. The main weakness of the deck, I would say, is locations and what the opponent's running. But yeah, the two flexible cards are Miss Marvel and Sarah. Sarah can be like whatever, really. Claw even, and Miss Marvel could just be a 3-drop like Luke Cage or Omega Red, whatever the fuck you want to do.
Or even Ant-Man, if you're feeling crazy.
Sure, I mean, yeah, it really doesn't matter.
This motherfucker made a Tribunal Ant-Man deck. I fucking loved it. I kept playing it.
This
is putting these random. He puts in such stupid cards sometimes. Like it's just great. I love it.
Yeah, but stupid shit is always stupid until everyone's doing it, and then it's genius.
Yeah.
Well, no, the big deal does some dumb stuff sometimes, and then I just play the decks. Like I played it right like through to infinite like a few months ago. It was hilarious. Some like Ant-Man Tribunal like deck. It was awesome. If you put Onslaught in the Ant-Man lane, like you get to like a 110 or whatever it was.
Oh, Ant-Man go to like ridiculous. 28 power. You get like a 128. Yeah,
it's just a dumb play too.
Yeah.
Like the opponent sees the Onslaught come down, and like, what the fuck did I just lose to? And you're like, got him.
So stupid.
Got him.
That's why it was so good.
Yeah.
This is sick though. I think I like the idea of Anti-Venom over Mr. Negative. Mr. Negative is like a classic way to play it, right? But I think just at face value, it should be better. Like it should just be a better Mr. Negative here, like straight up.
It does the same thing. It cheats out like a card you need to cheat out, and it makes it more consistent than Negative too.
And these cards don't really have power. Like you're not like worried about taking the power away. Like the Tribunal deck doesn't get power from the base power on the card. They get it from stacking effects, multiplying effects.
Right.
So that you really don't need the power. Like really, you just don't want to hit Onslaught or Tribunal. But even if you do, like you said, just throw the Tribunal a different lane and keep it moving.
Right. If you have like Onslaught, Iron Man, Mystique in the same lane, and your Onslaught 0 power, all you have to have there is like Ravonna, and it's still going to get like 48 power or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you stick a Miss Marvel or something in another lane, then like there's all your power anyway.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah, these Tribunal lists are so fun sometimes, especially when you like actually pop off and get like the Mystique on the Onslaught. Then you're like, oh man, like it's over.
Yeah.
It's great. There's another one here. I didn't play too much of this one. Buddy, he's like guy builds great decks all the time. This is just a good like Anti-Venom Pixie list. If you like Pixie, it's Quicksilver and it's got Big Dick Wick as well.
Big Dick Wick.
This deck looks so insane, dude.
Yeah, Quicksilver, Pixie, Psylocke, Valentina, Luke Cage, Mobius. I have Copycat. I think he had speed there, but I don't have speed.
Yeah.
Anti-Venom, Wiccan, the Big Dick, Spider-Woman, Alioth, and Red Hulk. And so, I mean, this deck's just crazy, basically. Mobius is a pretty good card right now. With a lot of the energy cheat stuff going on, but it's just an insane deck, and especially if you get Pixie, you just do some wild shit. It's crazy.
This deck looks like if Schizophrenia like turned itself into a deck. This is what it would look like.
It's amazing. It's fun. It's just a lot of fun because it's really chaotic. Like I said, I haven't played too much of it. I want to play more of it because it is really chaotic and hilarious. But yeah, I don't know. I figured I throw it out here for the people.
Spider-Woman's wild in here. I mean, every other card to me makes sense, and there's a freaking Spider-Woman in there, like
just fucking chilling.
Psylocke seems interesting too. Just like I guess just wanted a 2, and then you could go pick Wiccan on 3, I guess.
Yeah,
the idea, or you get Wiccan or Venom on 3. I guess that's pretty good.
That's what I would guess. Yeah. But
yeah, good play. That's way to do. Spider-Woman is a spicy inclusion in there.
Yeah.
I guess maybe it's good because most of the metagame is like a bunch of small cards that fill the lanes up fast. I don't know.
maybe
Yeah, I
balance. don't
I
know.
feel like that's why it's got time to pump out the old LDS. Let's get her out there and let's put out the old Lady Deathstrike.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's a classic Pixie card.
Yeah, she's really good too. She's probably actually better in here, actually, to be
Yeah.
honest.
You
She's a
take
great
out their
card.
Mobius. They got a Luke Cage. They got their Luke Cage. You LDS that, easy peasy. So,
Easy clap. Just clapping cheeks with Lady Deathstrike. It's great.
I've tried to
I don't
cope.
know.
I've tried to cope with Spider Woman a lot. Like that's why I bring it up because I've tried to include this card in my deck a lot of the time, and she never feels like horrible. She never feels like a horrible card. She just feels like kind of fine every time.
Yeah. It's it never feels great. Never feels
Yeah.
bad. You're
It
just
never
like,
felt like it's broken. Not
I'm
once.
just trying too hard here, and then you put an actual good card in there. Yeah.
Yeah. You just feel like if you want to relive like your Series 3 days before you got like good cards, like Spider Woman was like awesome for those days. Like she was like, yeah, you throw it down on 5, like especially if you get 4. And when she was like a 5/12 back in the day, like if like you felt so good about your life. It's either her or Devil Dino basically back in the day.
Yeah.
Devil Dino's one that used to be so dominant even at the higher levels, and now it's like,
bro, that card's dead. Yeah, I was talking about that last week's pod. That's a dead card right now, man.
yeah, it's
They
weird.
gotta pump those numbers up.
I kind of felt bad. Like I bullied a low collection level guy in one of the Silver Conquests, yesterday or the day before, and he was like this Devil Dino deck, and he was just having a lot of fun.
Agent
I just felt bad. Yeah, he had Coulson.
Did he play White Queen? Did he play White Queen?
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
Fuck
God.
yeah, dude.
And he had Quinjet. He had Cable in his deck too. He had Cable, Quinjet, Devil Dino, and
fucking Chad shit, dude. I want to go back to those times.
yeah, it was great. It was great.
They gotta pump White Queen, man. White Queen needs like a serious pump in power, man.
Yes.
Listen, I want White Queen to be 4/4. Steal your opponent's highest cost card from their hand.
Take it out of their hand.
Take it out of their hand. But
Give
she's
me
a
that.
4/4. The highest cost, you
Now
steal
we're
it.
talking.
I ain't mad at it.
A 4/4 is so garbage that you need a good effect. That'd be such a good
I'm
disruptive
going Wong, White Queen. Just White Queen, Grandmaster. Just start snatching.
White Queen, Misery, Grandmaster.
Yeah, just start pumping.
Yeah.
Your hand is mine.
Exactly. You have Cable, Moon Knight, all that kind of bullshit. Just destroy their hand kind of list. That'd be awesome. But yeah, I don't know. This deck is fun. It's just pure chaos and it's hilarious. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the meta's pretty good. I love it. You just literally play whatever you want. There's all this bounce shit too. Like just do what you want. Have fun out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's
I did pull up Untap while we were looking, and it said, not that that matters that much, but it did say Agent Venom was 22% play rate, so pretty high, but 53.6% win rate. So it's not like crazy, Like RSM was like in the 60s, I think. So
but 20% is still ridiculous. But to be fair, a lot of tech cards have 20% play rate, and they never get changed. So
yeah, Shang-Chi,
like out of
the
control,
old
like you guys were saying,
classic 50% play rate Shang-Chi.
yeah.
Where's Shang-Chi? No one plays it anymore.
Yeah,
I know. Wait, we'll talk about that when we get into next month's cards.
Yeah.
All right.
Shang-Chi's coming back.
Yeah, for sure.
He's coming back big.
Yeah.
He's making a big debut. But yeah, here's the seven cards. I don't remember. Was Deadpool's Diner the last time? Did it have 7 cards that season?
Yeah, it seems like a lot.
Yeah, I counted. I'm like, really? There were 7? I'm like, am I crazy?
I think Cassandra Nova was her whole week. Like the Cassandra Nova, the first week of Deadpool's Diner, they didn't do another card, I don't think. Right. Whereas this one, Agony, also had a card. Was it Scorn or Toxin on it? Or it was Scorn.
I think it was Scorn. Yeah.
Yeah, October 15th. So
yeah, so it was a 5-week season, and then you get 6 cards because you get the season pass card, and then there was the High Voltage. Agony was the same week as Scorn. So yeah.
Oh, okay. I was wondering. I was like 4 weeks and 7 cards. How does that make sense? But okay, it was 5 weeks. I didn't even.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple times a year they get the old 5-week. Thing.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so I guess I think we kind of talked about it a bit, but let's just start with Agent Venom. The 2/4 set everything on all the power of your cards in your deck to 4. The most probably the best card this season. Is everyone in agreement? Like I think this is easily the best card actually.
Yeah, if you say otherwise, you're just an asshole.
Yeah, like just really good card. Kind of like, what did you think he was going to be great? Like when before he released
Yes.
NerfHerder?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That's what we were saying too. I'm like, this card seems fucking broken. Like the more you think about it, the more combos you go in your head, the more you're like, oh, Mystique, Iron Man, oh, Athena, like all this shit. You're like, man, this card's fucked. Like
I
it's
mean,
great.
if you want to do the math and you play it on turn 2, you get 4 power from him, and then like 12 power probably from the next couple of cards you play. I mean, you're playing a 216. That's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
And it
It's
might get
good.
multiplied, like one of those might be an Iron Man,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, then it just
great,
gets...
great season pass card. I mean, I like them. He's fun. The decks to play are fun. It's fun playing the small stuff and having them all scale and everything. So it's a good card. Probably will get nerfed eventually, but
Yeah.
let the people who pay to win for a couple more weeks.
Pay to
It's
win
great.
season pass, baby.
Exactly. Scream was the next one. What do you guys think about this one?
I think Scream's good, man. I think the Storm nerf at the end. I think people were starting to kind of figure out some crazy stuff with Storm and Scream, and then they nerfed Storm to 4. So I think she was kind of right on the precipice. The buff to a 2/3 is like pretty crazy. Obviously, like you do have to play kind of shittier cards around her. Like Stegron, Arrow. These kind of cards like are not great. And then they nerfed Juggernaut Kingpin combo, which was kind of annoying. Like it doesn't work on the face down cards now. I really enjoyed doing that. I thought Juggernaut was like an absolute core piece of the Scream deck, but
Yeah.
I still think Scream, even now, despite all that stuff, is just a legitimately good card still. Like I think she's still good. Not quite Agent Venom level power, but I think the decks like NerfHerder was saying, you could play anything. I think you can play a Scream deck right now.
Yeah. I think it's just the decks that she goes in, they just feel a little awkward, or just something's missing. But when you play like Scream into Polaris, into Arrow, into Magneto, it feels so dumb. You're like, dude, this card is sick. And then you keep playing it and you're like, all right, it doesn't do that every game. So what the fuck? Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, I like the card. I really like it.
Yeah, I really like the card too. I think there's going to be a theme, and I'll probably say this about 5 times while we go through the season, but I think they did like a really, really good job of making very specific cards for very specific archetypes that are kind of like really good cards in that one specific archetype, They had a few that were like, they're pretty good this season. So, you didn't have to get every single card. Like if you didn't like this card or move or something or bounce, I think they did a good job with that, with having 7 cards that you didn't feel like you never, if you missed on 3 of them, like you weren't like, down and out basically.
Yeah.
So Scream is awesome. This is a fun card. It's really good.
Oh yeah. So okay, now that we're on topic of Scream, sorry I don't want to derail or anything, but I mean it's on topic.
No, go.
About 6 days ago, I went into the lab because NerfHerder was saying like, wow, it feels so good when you get Scream on 2, right? So what's a way we can increase our chance of getting him around 2? We don't have old Chavez anymore, right? So I made a little Agatha Scream deck. It's pretty good. Like, so it's a Sable Kingpin, Scream, Moon Knight, Lady Sif, Polaris, Spider-Man, Wave, Ghost Rider, Cannonball, Arrow, Agatha, and just greatly increases your odds of getting the Scream on 2 or 3. And most of these cards are odd cards, like like Kingpin, Polaris, Spider-Man, Cannonball, Arrow are all odd number cards. You want to play a bunch of 5s anyway. Ghost Rider is a 418. That's a 418. That's pretty good. So because you discarded your Agatha. Moon Knight, a little bit of disruption. A little bit of disruption all around because you're moving your opponent's shit around. You're discarding their hand with Moon Knight. It's actually pretty decent. So I played Agatha Scream deck, and I think it's pretty solid.
Is it though?
Yeah, no, it was good. Hey, the win rate was good. The win rate was good. But like kids, I'm in like 10K like rank, like so I'm in like shit tier. So
when you read that list,
you might have a hard time.
When you read that list, I was like, this is either the dumbest thing I've ever heard or a fucking genius.
Dude, try it out, man. Try it out. It's good.
Listeners, if you heard that deck list, play it out. And if it goes poorly, you can find No Big Deal on Twitter at No Big Deal.
That's right. That's right, baby.
Exactly. Just talk a lot of shit.
Yeah, just talk shit to him.
Great. He likes that. But yeah, I mean, Scream's such a unique card. Really good 2-drop. Just the archetype surrounding her is kind of dog shit. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like, what? Eventually, hopefully, it'll be like half decent. Like eventually, in 2 years from now, they'll do to that archetype what they did to like regular move to make it like actually like competitive. Because like you could play like classic move competitively, right now. But Scream, yeah, before they nerfed Storm, it was gaining a little bit of traction, like no big deal said, but it's still all right. You can still play Scream decks and do fine on the
Yeah,
ladder.
you play a little Agatha, the Scream, it's nice.
Yeah, sure.
I hate you. Next card, Misery. This was an interesting one. I really enjoyed. They buffed this one prior to release, right? It was a 4/7. They made it a 4/8. We didn't think it was going to be good.
After release, I think.
Was it after release?
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
Oh yeah, it was before it left the spotlight cache.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, hey, in 2 days we're gonna buff this card, basically. So buy it. It was. Yeah, I didn't think it needed a buff, but it was. I didn't really know how I felt about it before. I didn't think it was gonna be that good. And then, Jet made this like Darkhawk Phoenix Force kind of like Black Widow deck where like you play like you can play Black Widow, then you can play Misery on the Black Widow, then you can play Phoenix Force after that to revive the Black Widow, and you get 3 Black Widows, and it's like a Darkhawk deck. And that basically took the meta by storm, and they ended up nerfing Darkhawk again. So like Misery was basically because you could also like kill the Rock Slide, revive the Rock Slide again. Like it was it was insane. So like this deck basically led to the nerfing of Rock Slide, or this card basically led to the nerfing of Rock Slide and the Darkhawk archetype once again indirectly. But the card's not amazing, but it is really cool and has a cool effect. And I really enjoyed playing it actually. So more than I thought. I had a lot more fun with this card, more than I thought I was gonna have. I kind of just got it for the fuck of it, and then I ended up playing it. I'm like, this is a pretty cool card, man. I like it. But yeah, I don't know. What did you guys think?
Well,
Go ahead.
let me ask. Okay, NerfHerder, have you found anywhere to play this card other than Darkhawk?
No, I didn't get it because I refuse to like this card. I don't care if it's the best card in the game. I'm never getting it and I'm never playing it. I don't know why. Something about it. Maybe because I did like a lore video, a quick lore video on the cards. And the lore on this card is one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever heard in my life. And I was like, I hate you. I'm not playing you. I hate you. This card sucks.
What is the lore? I don't even know.
What's like a TLDR of the lore?
Okay. All right. So some doctor was experimenting with symbiote samples on a monkey, right? Okay. So the monkey had like multiple symbiotes in it. One of them would end up being Misery. And then some guy breaks into this monkey lab and steals all these sample symbiotes. The lab people go and find this guy. And then all the symbiotes merged into him. And then somehow the monkey comes back in play. Oh, the monkey attacked the doctor. So she got the Misery symbiote. And then the monkey attacked doctor, went and found the guy who stole the symbiotes, and then all that shit meshed together and created Misery. Does it sound stupid? Because it fucking is.
So it's like multiple beings. This is like multiple beings?
As far as I can remember, yes. It's like a monkey symbiote mixed with like 5 other symbiotes.
That's spooky.
Sure, spooky's the word, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, all right. I can get why you didn't get the card then. You probably read it. You're like, fuck this shit. I'm not fucking supporting this bullshit.
I started reading the wiki and I was like, I'm done. Moving on.
Weak ass storylines. Skip.
I think it's a reasonable skip, honestly. I mean, I haven't found anything super compelling other than the Darkhawk list. Like I said, I was trying to experiment with it last week, and it doesn't seem like a bad card. Like, seems solid, but yeah, I think at some point it'll pop up again, like a top tier kind of Misery deck will probably pop up again. It repeats all the on reveals. Half the cards in the game are on reveals, so
sure,
it's only a matter of time. Right?
Yeah.
Then again, we also said about Grandmaster. That didn't really materialize.
I think to your point where you're saying it's a reasonable skip, I think you could honestly say that about every single card here except for Agent Venom.
If you play discard, you can't skip Scorn. If you play bounce, you cannot skip Toxin.
Well, yeah, that was his point, though. Is they're all so like
Yeah.
specific to archetypes that like you just don't have to play that archetype if you don't want to.
That's true. Yeah.
So I mean, you jumped ahead a little bit. That's all right. But we'll talk. Scorn the next card. 1/2. No big deal. Take it away. Discard champ there. NerfHerder, you're a discard aficionado.
I mean, I stole NerfHerder's deck, but I think this card's insane. I mean, it's one cost Apocalypse. It's one cost Apocalypse, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You have to play it in a MODOK discard list. I think it's absolutely mandatory. Adds a lot of fun to the deck. It used to be a lot more linear. Love discarding it with the Dracula at the end. You get, they're not hard committing to Dracula, and you get like a 1/11 or a 4/11 Dracula. And you could play a 16 power APOC somewhere else. Got a couple swarms too. I mean, you really get into the mind games with this card, and adds some ceiling, some kind of snap equity, variability to your deck. That MODOK deck was used to be just, hey, I play the Dracula, I play the MODOK, I play the APOC and the swarms. If I don't get that, I'm in trouble. I might have to retreat. And now there's all kinds of different lines that open up, and I think they really did a good job on this card, and adds a ton of fun to the MODOK discard deck.
Yeah.
Yep. That was elegant and Shakespearean. I have nothing to add.
Yeah, and it adds like a non-discard enjoyer. I picked up this card and was actually enjoying discard a lot. Like it does make the deck less linear. Like the one thing I didn't like too much about discard was that like you just have to play the same shit in the same order every single time, or else you're not gonna win. Basically, like you just have to do it. And then this plus the lockjaw stuff made it really unique, and it's a really good card. And I'm surprised because a lot of times like we talk about on here, like it's really hard to make 1-drops that actually are meaningful now, just because like they have to be so powerful for you to include in the decks, because a lot of the 1-drops now are just so good that it's hard not to include a lot of them. And this one's just like a staple, just like to add a staple to discard, and it just made the deck so much better.
Yeah,
I'm for it, man. It was really cool card. Again, like I said, if you don't play discard at all, you should not have got this card, because it's just for discard. You can't really play it in any other list.
Yep.
But yeah. Then we have Agony, the free card from High Voltage. First of all, NerfHerder, how'd you like High Voltage?
It was fun. Well, at least for like the first day or two, it was super fun. But yeah, it's just like doing all the stupid shit. You try to make ridiculous decks for like the actual ladder. You're like, this is gonna be sick, and then it never works. But in High Voltage, it worked. So yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great. I had so much fun. A week was great. Like it was the perfect amount of time. I grinded the whole week, and like I didn't think I played regular ladder or conquest that week. It was just I played High Voltage.
Yeah.
It was everything I wanted in a mode. It was awesome. Just do the dumbest shit, and then I would just get so mad when people retreated. I'm like, it's 3 turns, guys. Like just play
you're also not losing anything or gaining anything if you retreat. What are you doing?
And like also like I'm trying to do like Alliance quests. I'm trying to do like other quests. Like just let me just play the game out, man.
Let them cook. Let them cook.
Yeah, but as far as the agony, very easy to get. You didn't have to play every day to get her. Like it was a very easy card to get, and because it was so easy, I think it's probably the worst card of the month. I think it's not too great. I don't think it's really found a good.
It's better
home
in
yet.
Misery.
Yeah. That piece of shit.
I mean, it might be. I mean, you could play a destroy deck. You could play a Phoenix Force deck. Like I don't know.
So in classic Phoenix Force, like Jets, like Phoenix Force, it's really good. We took out Human Torch and put in Agony, and it's been working pretty good, especially with Deadpool. It makes the Deadpool line so much better.
Yeah.
Especially since you can target it. It's not just Hulkbuster YOLO. You can actually target stuff, and it's really good in that deck. It's nice, a nice addition. But other than that, like I don't see it on the ladder, man. I don't see it on the ladder anywhere.
The Destroy gamers are playing her, from what I've seen.
Are they?
Yeah.
Are they? I don't.
It's just a better Hulkbuster, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I've even seen decks with both, but yeah. Like you said, it's targeted kids, so sometimes you do have multiple cards in the lane. You want to Venom or whatever, right? But Agony always hits what you want it to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like a broken card. It's not great, but like it's a fine card that we got for free from a fun game mode.
Right.
I'm down for more stuff like this. This is a cool card. I like it.
Yeah, every time I hear Glenn like talk about like new card releases and the difficulty of designing cards, he always brings up the Iron Elbow. You guys ever hear him talk about the Iron Elbow? Basically,
No.
Iron Fist like moves the card to the left. Well, he's like,
Oh
well, what?
yeah.
How do we release a game that is Iron Elbow and move a card to the right, a 1/2? And it's like you can't do it because people get pissed. Like a Series 5 card, like Iron Elbow, like we'll all lose our mind, right? Like
Yeah.
there's zero hype behind that. They're gonna make no money on it. Like so I think this high voltage idea is a way to add cards like Agony into the game, right? Like where, we don't want to go spend resources on a card like this. It's not a lot of hype. We don't have to wait a whole another week for another card to, come out. Just throw her in the game, easy to obtain. Worst case, she's Series 4 if you miss out. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've not played this card a single time. Yeah, I've had it the whole time. I've not played one. I haven't played any Destroyer Phoenix Force, so I haven't done it. I haven't tried it with Symbiote either. Some crazy Scarlet Spider copium stuff. I haven't tried that yet.
Yeah, I don't really play with them much either, but yeah.
Yeah. And then the next release, probably, one of the most hyped cards, I would say, in the community on release, because everyone loves bounce, all these bounce gamers out there. We had Toxin, it was a 2/1 on reveal. Return your other cards here to your hand, +2 power for each. It was just released last week. Basically took bounce by, bounce took the meta by storm. This card seemed to be like a staple in bounce. Seems like a really, really good card. Yeah, I don't know if there's much more to say about that. Like it's a really, really good card for bounce. I don't really see it used in any other deck, honestly. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think the only thing I would point out with Toxin is it does make like bounce a little awkward. I thought it would just like supercharge bounce, where it was like this is so good, but it kind of made it to where like you almost were doing too much, or it tripped over itself or something like that. And I don't know. I found that cutting Falcon and just focusing on like getting value out of on reveals rather than trying to do like Hitmonkey, a bunch of 1-drops and Falcon stuff ended up being better in the long run, because then you have room for like tech cards and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's a great card. Only ever want to play it in one deck. But yeah.
Oh, kid, you're muted, buddy. I was saying, yeah.
I'll say sorry. You cut the Falcon from yours, if I remember correctly. Yeah, and you used Werewolf, not Hitmonkey.
Right,
Actually, I meant to ask you about that. What did you think about Werewolf, like Hitmonkey versus Werewolf? What was the?
Oh, I think it's just a choice of what you want to do. Do you want to do Mysterio Bishop Hitmonkey, or do you want to do Werewolf by Night and then have more flexibility to play whatever cards you think you need at that moment?
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting seeing a lot of archetypes. Like you cut the Falcon, but then there's a lot of people that left all 3 bouncers in.
Yeah,
and I thought that was kind of cool too. Especially with like blacks. I think that's the one I played. One with all 3 bouncers, and with Black Swan too, because like the new Black Swans is so much fun, especially with Falcon. I fucking hated Falcon with a passion.
Really?
Before Black Swan got you, I thought it was so dumb. Like they don't get. They don't get the energy reduction. I don't know. I just hated it. It was just I felt like cheated every time.
So what did Falcon do to you, man? This is a good card.
I was like, this card.
He's got a new movie coming out.
All right.
Yeah, but like with Black Swan, it's so nice now because you could just Falcon everything back and they're all free. It's like it's so much of a better card. So I liked him a lot more. And Toxin just if you even bounce Toxin, he gets huge, man. Like I've had like 213 Toxins. Like it's crazy. It could get nuts.
Yeah, that's super cool. One thing I will say, I was surprised that Collector didn't become like a staple in bounce decks. I just thought with Toxin and Falcon and Beast that like a Kitty Pryde Collector version would be the way to go. But no, I tried it and it's dog shit.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, I saw some Collector versions. So yeah, you're right. No big deal. Did you play Toxin at all?
No, I still haven't played him. I mean, I've played against him a bunch. I think Shadow King's really good against this card, and
okay.
Obviously
they buffed that card to a 2/3.
Every other card.
No, but I mean, like if it ever calms down where it's like not a Shadow King meta, then like I think bounce would be like cracked, But
Sure.
The way the Shadow King counters like all the Age of Venom stuff and the Toxin stuff too. So
not misery, NerfHerder.
What?
Doesn't counter misery.
Okay, you still can't do anything cold misery.
Yeah, I think maybe when Surtur or whatever comes out, if we do go big dumb idiots meta, like that might be a really good time to play Toxin Bounce. You know, everyone would be playing like some Shang-Chi bullshit, try to combat that. You show up, but I guess maybe they would play Cosmo in that deck. We'll see. We'll see if they do the old Shuri Red Skull. But I mean, we'll talk about that when we get to the next cards. But yeah, I think Toxin's really good. Let me just say that.
Do you own it? Do you own the card, NBD?
Yeah, I got Toxin, yeah.
Okay, so you own it, you just haven't played with it at all?
Yeah, I mean, bounces a lot, man. It takes a lot of mental fortitude. You look at the first 4 cards, I like Agent Venom decks, I like Scream decks, and I like Scorn decks. These are the decks that I've been playing, and I've been playing some Lockdown stuff. Pretty much those 3 plus Lockdown stuff is what I've been doing this month. And
too busy honing in on that Agatha Scream.
I gotta perfect this. He's almost there. He's almost there.
We all play the game, the way we like to.
Yeah,
bounce. It's like bounce takes too much mental fortitude. What if the card just plays itself? The game just plays itself. Agatha Scream.
Scream on 2, man. Easy. I don't have to think about shit. Scream on 2. Easy game.
Did you get mad when they buffed Agatha because now you actually have to play half the time?
It's bullshit.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I should have just moved her up to 18 power, man.
I love it. And then the last card we talked about, Agent Venom, in detail before. So overall, like honestly, I kind of love this season. A lot of very unique cards, all have their own little niches, and you can just the kind of like the world is your oyster with these cards, man. And you didn't have to get any of them. Like you could just pick and choose 2 of them. Agent Venom is like the one where you should really get. But yeah,
I ask you something?
Yeah.
Where did the world is your oyster come from? Like, why is the world an oyster? What does that mean?
It's a good question. I have no idea. Sometimes
is it because those old paintings where like the goddesses are in the oyster and they have the hair over her boobs? Is that what it's referring to?
I have no clue.
All right.
Never mind. Let's ask Google.
I wonder if it's a reference to some sort of reference to the Bangkok culture, because the song "One Night in Bangkok and the World's Your Oyster."
I'm gonna mute you.
It's gotta be something with Bangkok,
It's Shakespeare. The phrase "the world is your oyster" comes from William Shakespeare's play "The Merry Wives of Windsor," which was first published in 1602.
Shout out Billy Shakes.
Yeah. In Act 2, a character named Falstaff says, "I will not lend thee a penny," to which Pistol replied, "Why then, the world's mine oyster, which I with sword will open." Sure.
Oh, so we're saying it wrong. It's the world's mine oyster. We aren't even saying it right.
We're just culturally appropriating fucking Shakespeare.
yeah, we gotta stop Americanizing this shit.
That dude is a king of slang. There's so many things that we take for granted that he just made up.
Yeah, probably take for granted too is his phrase in one of his fucking plays.
Right, yeah.
Thy granted we taketh thee. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know. What are your thoughts on this season? What are your final thoughts?
Very good season. Well played. Well played, Second Dinner.
Yeah, they did really good.
Very, very, very strange, and I would say one of their absolute worst OTA seasons of all time. I'll say that. The OTA is brutal this season.
They're pretty fucking whack.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were pissed every single week. Yeah, every single week.
I lost so much hair. This season. Look at it.
Oh, it's great. Oh, I love it. It's funny. There were some, actually it was so funny because like here you complain a lot, it's hilarious and I love it. But like there were some people that were like, actually people have good takes on Twitter, not like just idiots that complain, that were like, man, these fucking OTAs have been whack. Like, what's up with Second Dinner, man? It's kind of true. Like we were saying that too every week. But yeah.
Yeah, the cards are awesome. I mean, they did a phenomenal job on the cards.
Especially the Storm one. Like, what are we doing? Is it a Storm? Storm never hurt anybody. What are we doing?
That's what we were saying, man. It's kind of crazy. But then again, like like I like to talk shit about everything, and then like the meta's in a pretty good spot. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I guess it worked out okay.
I know, but it's fun to complain about this.
Once
shit,
again,
so.
the people who make the game know better than we do.
Yeah,
Who would have
go
thought?
figure.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next season, man. I'm kind of excited about this. I don't think it's going to be as cool as the last one, but these are the cards that are coming out.
Oh, we got Gore. Gore's actually coming to the game.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no big deal. Hasn't looked at any of these, by the way.
I've
So
only
this is
seen
going to be
Oh, okay.
this is going to be a first run through for him.
Oh, I'm excited
Um,
then.
Yeah, we'll get
Shout
to,
out
we'll get to
Christian
hear
Bale,
his
man. Shout out
thoughts.
Christian Bale.
Was he Gore or something?
I think
Totally
so, yeah.
wasted, but yes, he was Gore.
That's great. So the season pass card Surtur is a 3/5. After you play a card with 10 plus power, this gains +3 power. Surtur.
Yeah, thank you. All right.
Surtur. Yeah.
How do you say it? Yeah.
This card, Surtur. This card seems pretty fucking good, if you ask me. Pretty
Yeah,
damn
but
good.
you could only play it in the one deck that everyone is going to build the
Yeah.
exact same way. There's maybe like one card that people are going to play around with. But come on, it's going to be like Typhoid, Atuma, Crossbones, Cold Obsidian, Surtur, Armor, Cosmo, Scar. That's the deck. What else are you going to do with it?
Yeah. Armor, Ronin, Master Mold if you want, Arrow on 5 if you want.
I
Oh,
guess.
it's great.
Yeah.
It's just going to be...
I think it's just going to be a Zabu 4-drop 10 power stuff.
That's it. Yeah, you can even forge Gladiator if you want in there as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
Zabu's gonna be
I've
great.
seen Agony with Gladiator and Dr. Octopus to make those a little bit better.
Oh yeah, Agony is good. Agony or Forge, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zabu would be good. But yeah, this card, I think pretty easily gets to be a 3/11,
Easily.
like very easily in that deck, which is insane. Yeah, it's gonna make the Big Dumb Idiots deck pretty wild, I think. So this is what we're talking about. Shang-Chi's coming back with a vengeance. Get your Shang-Chi. He's gonna be in that list too. You're gonna need it.
Even for him, I mean, he's going to be over 10, right? So, yeah,
This is going to be 14 power, I think, most games.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think the question, though, is it good enough to just play like 2 10 power cards in your deck as well as Surtur? Like, just do like Cold Obsidian and Crossbones. That's it.
And Scar.
Yeah, and Scar maybe, but even then, just 2 other 10 power cards. Because he's going to be a 3/8. Isn't 3/8 like better than every other 3-drop in the game?
Yeah, 3/8's great.
Yeah.
I think just like even like put him in like a little mid-range shell with a couple 4-drops, like
Right.
anything. Even like that Ajax Sarah build that I had, like Typhoid's in there, and then Ajax will be
Boom. Yeah, this is going to be a
more than
3/11.
yeah.
It's crazy.
So yeah, it's pretty awesome.
I wonder in their testing if there was some limiting factor to, hey, like I have to play this on 3 because it's not an ongoing, right? So yeah, I think it would be a bit better if it was ongoing, right? Then you could just play it on 6. You got a bunch of 6s out there already. You just slam this and something else, like something else reduced by Zabu or something.
Mm-hmm.
That seems pretty good. But you have to play it on 3. Then he's vulnerable to Shadow King and Shang-Chi. So I don't know. Maybe that he balances himself out a little bit like that. I'm also curious I'll probably dick around with some Thanos copium with this card, like maybe Scar Thanos lists. I think those lists were really strong, like basically in January of this year.
Yeah.
Try to recreate like some Torikun like Scar Thanos build. I think it'd be like really good with this card, like just a bunch of 10s, Eliath, all these greasy 10 6-drops. With what's the Xing Kaera, the condom? Put the condom on them and
yes.
stay protected. and with Shang-Chi's gonna be out there, so I'll have my Kaera ready, and it could be interesting.
Yeah, I don't think Shang-Chi is really going to be a problem for this because every deck that runs this is going to run protection. So
Yeah, you're gonna have Cosmos and armors everywhere and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's just like it's just a good card. It seems like a good card.
Yep.
Period.
Yeah, I never
So
heard
the
points. Yeah, just 3/8 so easily. So it's such an easy 3/8.
Next card, Frigga.
Frigga.
She's the 3/3 on
Frigga.
reveal. Add a copy of the last card you played to your hand, if able. Now, fun fact on this card: if you try and type Frigga in the Alliance chat, you get blocked. So you can't talk about this card in your Alliance chat because your whole message gets blocked automatically.
all right.
So you know what? 3/3 add a copy of the last card you played to your hand. I'm not excited about this, honestly.
neither.
I think 3/3 the stats are too shit for this, and
Yeah.
it's just too expensive. I don't know. I fuck this card. I don't think it's gonna be good.
I can't find one redeeming quality about this card. I think it's the worst card that's released in a long time.
Skip.
The last card you played, yeah, okay, you get one copy. I'm just thinking like what's broken with cloning vats, you know, or like Sinister London or something. Like you can't play this with Venom or something, right? Like it's never really gonna do anything.
Yeah, you don't want to put this in
No.
a destroy deck.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
You're wasting your turn 3
Yeah,
on
there's
a
no way
Frigga,
this
and then you
makes
gotta play like get a
Yeah.
copy of Venom. Like, okay, that's stupid.
Yeah.
And maybe there's something that I'm too dumb to like that I'm not thinking about, but like if there's no cost reduction on the copy that you're played or something like that, like you just gotta play another card on like you're getting a 2-drop if you play this on 3. You're getting like if you play this on 4, then
Can't
You're
you play
copying
this
a
in Phoenix
3-drop?
Force? Can't you just fucking play this on 5 on Phoenix Force deck? Don't you just win?
Yeah, well, because
what do you mean? How would I win in a Phoenix?
So don't I
Force
just play
deck?
Phoenix on 4 and frig off on 5 and GG or what?
Then I play a 3. Then I get a 3/3 on the board and a Phoenix Force in my hand that I have to play on turn 6.
Yeah,
and
I
do
guess I need
nothing with?
magic to do
exactly,
that.
yeah.
It
People
doesn't
said
work without
Anti
magic.
Venom the same thing,
Yeah.
and it was like, okay, so you have to play Anti Venom on 4. You have to play the free card plus figure on turn 5,
Mm.
and then you get I don't know.
That's way too much.
Yeah, the best case
Yeah.
scenario is still shit. So
Like if she's like add a copy of the last card you played and it costs 1 less or something. Okay, maybe even that I don't think is really that good, but even that's like better than this. Or like look at Surtur. Surtur's a fucking 3/5. Like it's a 3/5. This is a 3/3. Surtur's got a better effect than its better stats.
this card needs to be 1/2 minimum, and then it might not still be playable, in my opinion.
Yeah, seriously, honestly.
I might
Yeah.
cope. I might cope with this one. I might.
Please don't, dude.
Well, why don't you wait till you read all the other cards and then see
Yeah.
if you want to spend your resources on
Yeah,
this
maybe it's
fucking
the easy
stupid card.
skip. Yeah.
But like honestly, look at Surtur. 3/5, awesome effect. Frigga, 3/3, not even a great effect. I don't even think it's a great effect. I'm gonna go ahead and say
Well,
that.
your Venom's in your hand. Your Venom's like a 3/13 in your hand, right? So you just have like this 3/13 Venom, but like you said, but you had to play a 3/3 also. So that
Yeah.
kinda
What are you
sucks.
talking about? Where's the 3/13? Where are you getting a 3/13?
Add a copy of the
Well,
last
Venom.
card you played into your hand.
So when is Venom getting 13 on turn 3 or 4?
That's okay. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
Maybe
that's
on
true.
maybe on 4. Maybe you could play a Venom on 4, Frigga on 5, something like that.
If Monster Island was the location, and then you
Yeah,
destroyed
there
it,
you go.
then Frigga's
Yeah,
good.
exactly. Yes.
Then we
Monster
get
Island's
Agony,
location.
Deadpool, you know. We'll figure it. We'll get there, the Wolverine.
Yeah, I don't know. Or like if it.
Second Carnage, I don't know.
No, stop it. Moving on.
Yeah, I wonder if you made it like a 3 something, like a 3/1, like add the last card that you played to this lane or something next to it, something like that. I don't know if
like,
that'd be too
like a
busted,
Sinister, then Sinister London type situation, yeah.
but yeah, I don't know, whatever. Like a Jubilee that plays just the last card that pulls like just the last card you played. I don't know. Maybe that'd be too broken. I don't remember. I don't know. But yeah, fuck. Move on. Stupid card. Malekith. This card seemed interesting, actually. This card's a 4/6 with an on reveal. Add a 1, 2, or 3 cost card from your deck here. It reveals at the end of the game.
Oh, it's like a personal Zemo.
Yeah, but much better,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah, your own Zemo. We have Zemo at home.
Yeah.
No, Zemo's Malekith at home.
You're saying, okay, yeah. Zemo's already at home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If you build-
Go ahead.
If you build your deck right, you're pretty much always getting a 3 energy card from this. So, yeah, I just real quick. Don't mean to interrupt and interject my stupid shit, but I have to tell you a little bit about Malekith's lore here. We all know him from the movies. But, okay, so his 12 older brothers, their heads got thrown at Malekith, like after a war or whatever. He basically saw his 12 brothers decapitated and their heads were thrown at him.
Jesus.
His mom was like, you're never going to war like your older brothers. So
Fair.
what did she do? Well, she traded Malekith into slavery for a pile of snake guts and hang on, pickled toads. Yes, correct. Pickled toads.
The
So
delicacy in her
Malekith,
parts. That's a delicacy in her parts.
I guess so. I don't. Yeah, snake guts and pickled toads, and then that uh, reasonably made Malekith angry. So when he stopped being a slave, he came back to kill his mom and feed her to dogs. That's lore time with NerfHerder.
That's great.
Should have fed her to
I
a
mean,
snake. Should have fed her to a snake or something. The full circle. Get the
I mean, in his mom's defense, I mean, she had at least 13 children. Like, resources were scarce, you know. You probably needed some like toad guts and toad shit and snake guts or whatever the hell it was.
She was relying on the first 12 kids to work the farm. All right,
Exactly.
the first 12 kids were supposed to milk the cows and raise the chickons, but they all had
Motherfuckers
their
went
heads
to
cut
war.
off. So times were tough. Yeah, he needed some pickled toads, and you got what you
Everyone
got to
knows-
do to survive out there.
Yeah, and everyone knows the best way to protect someone that you love is to sell them into slavery.
Absolutely,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's crazy, man. The lore is actually insane on all these guys. Even the misery
they are.
one's crazy too. Huh?
Who
I might have
thought of
nightmares
this?
about both of these tonight.
I don't know. The more you dig into Marvel, you're like, what am I doing being interested in these characters? Good Lord. I'm an adult.
Yeah.
I'm 40. I have a job. What am I doing?
Yeah. Even like if you think about like Spider-Man, like like this fucking high schooler got bit by a radioactive spider, like, all right, if you dig into it, you're like, it's kind of like dumb, but back in
Still,
the day, I was like,
that's simple and nice compared to all
Yeah.
these other characters.
that's true. Spider-Man's my favorite, by the way. I love that guy.
right on.
But yeah, this card, what do you think about it?
Go ahead,
Right.
MBD. Go ahead, man.
All right, so I had a 1, 2, 3 from your deck here, and it stays face down. I think it's similar to Anti-Venom, honestly. Like, this just seems like a good card, right? Like, 4/6, it's going to a lot of you say average, like this is going to be like a 4/11 like value, maybe 4/10 on average, maybe. A lot of these 2s are 2/5s now, right? Like you could get a 2/5 pretty easily. So, and then if you high roll, I don't know, like Gladiator, I guess, like it's a 3/8. You want to play speed in your deck. Like I don't have speed, I skipped that one, but that speed would be a great card to pull out. But even pull out a little hydration Robert, that's a 1/5, and he can't get Killmongered because it's doesn't get revealed to the end of the game. So that's a 4/11. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be just a good card. Maybe there'll be some degenerate combos, but I don't know if it'll be reliable. You won't be able to target stuff too easily. So I think it's just good stats.
What if you Malekith and the only 3-drop or cheaper in your deck is Frigga?
Well,
You
then
play
it
it-
goes to
Oh
your
no,
hand
it doesn't
and-
reveal to the end of the game. Never
Yeah.
mind.
Then,
Even
then
that's
you're
it.
sad. Then you're
then
sad
you're
about a
sad.
4/9 that took up 2 spots. The useless fucking card.
All right, never mind.
Yeah, you need big stuff with this guy.
I think it's just and the one thing too that we didn't mention, it thins your deck.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that's like probably one of the best things about it is it thins
Yeah.
your deck. Like it's just a deck thinning card. It's awesome, and you're gonna get good stats, and you're gonna build your deck to make it like you're gonna have good pulls. So
Yeah.
Even like a
I don't
Shadow
see-
King is a pretty interesting. Like you could just have Shadow King in your deck, right? Like
Sure.
it doesn't reveal to the end of the game, so like you could throw tech cards, like be kind of interesting, like a Shadow King or a Red Guardian, something like that, like some on reveal tech card. The cheap ones are great with this because they reveal last. You just take advantage of the Invisible Woman effect.
I can't think of any 3-drops that this is bad with. I don't know. It's just good value.
yeah,
I-
copycat's good. They're all good.
Maybe now like a Zabu good card stack is now viable to where you have just like Iron Lad, Anti-Venom, Malekith, I don't know, Miss Marvel or some shit. And you just have a pile of like solid value.
Yeah. This card I think is gonna be good. This seems
Yep.
like a good card. I like it.
I feel bad for him though. Now that I know the lore, now I feel bad for the guy.
Yeah. All his brothers are gone, and he killed his mom. So
That's a rough
he's
life.
solo. That's why he's got to pull a 1, 2, or 3 cost card. He needs some company. He's lonely.
That makes sense. Yeah,
It's lore accurate.
he's bringing his bros. He's got new bros now.
Yeah. All right. This card, I I'm pretty excited for it, but I don't know how good it's going to be. No big deal. I want you to react first because you don't know what the hell's going on.
All right,
Fenris Wolf is a
Fenrir.
2/3. Activate, resurrect the highest power card, or the highest power discarded or destroyed enemy card to your side of the location.
It
Go ahead,
seems
no
like
big deal.
it seems like it could make the MODOK list actually, because I think you can naturally play that list with Moon Knight and Gambit already. You know, the pre-Scorn version, the optimal one, had Moon Knight and Gambit both. So I mean, day one that would be my build right away, and I think it would be extremely good in a deck like that.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a fun card, man. I think it's gonna be great. Just the fact that you can activate it is gonna be awesome. Just because, like, on the last turn, you can like activate it, Shang-Chi, one of your opponent's things, and then like it brings back that Shang-Chi thing, on net right next to the Fenris Wolf. It's just, there's gonna be a lot of wild, wacky shit that happens, and not to mention like Silver Samurai. You can use that card can come back into the meta. Moon Knight is coming back. Like you said, no big deal. Gambit. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a fun card. It's gonna be a lot of chaos, and if you destroy, maybe like a Black Bolt stature deck. With Silver Samurai, this just gets good value. Bring back those value decks. It seems like a cool card. I don't know how good it's going to be, but it seems really cool, and it's a card that I really want to get.
Yeah, same. I'm going to get it and try it out for sure. What I think's interesting about it is it's going to create a deck that never existed before. Whether the deck's good or not is up for debate, or we'll find out. But yeah, basically you take the Scorn discard decks now, and you just take out Dracula, MODOK, Apocalypse, and maybe like Lady Sif, and you just put in, like you guys said, Moon Knight, Silver Samurai, Black Bolt, and Stature. And now you have like a solid discard deck that is going to function on one level, like with good discard stuff, like with Morbius and Scorn and stuff. But you have like a cool different way to finish the game off with Fenris Wolf and Stature and shit like that. I think that's interesting, and we need more cards like that.
Yeah, and what's going to be cool too is like you don't have to do this. Obviously, you don't have to do this on the last turn. So if you like discard or destroy a good card, like when you resurrect it, like you get that good effect as well, right? Like I don't know if it's like I don't know, like Wolfsbane, for example, like that'll go off again, like just as this thing I could think of in my head, like if you discard your opponent's Frigga, like you're getting a copy of the last card you played to your hand.
That's so sick.
That's value. So yeah, it's pretty. I think it's going to be fun, and it's the highest power discarded or destroyed enemy card too. So like, Shang-Chi is going ham this month.
I gotta say though, it's a bit of a feels bad for me because now I feel like my Agatha Scream deck is on a little bit of a clock until Frigus or Frigus, but Fenris Wolf comes out. If you acquire priority, then Fenris will always take the Agatha.
Yeah.
So that's 14. So now you're playing a 217. So that's a little bit cracked. So unfortunately, I think this card's going to kill Agatha on release. So that's a little bit sad for Scream Agatha. I'll have to find a new shelf for Scream, I guess.
Yeah, sorry about that, man. That sucks.
Yeah, it was this close. It was this close, and he almost had it. But yeah, it seems like a sweet card. I'm pumped for it. Gore, the God Butcher, is a 6/-1 ongoing +2 power for each unrevealed card in play, both opponent and yours. I mean, this is just Blob 2.0, I think. Like,
yeah,
basically.
But to be fair, you have to put it in a very specific deck. But yes.
Yeah, I don't even think you have to. I think you just
really
I think it's just any deck you want a big 6-drop. I don't think it has to be a specific deck.
Is it Blob 2.0 or is it current Red Hulk? That's the question, because this could just be current Red Hulk as well.
Oh yeah, it counts the opponents too. I keep forgetting that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, in the dev video, it was like 630 on like every single one. It was like insane. It was like fuck. Like it showed a bunch of different ones. It was like 624, 630. They're like, fuck, man.
Haven't they learned their lesson? They're like, guys, check this out. It's a 6 power 30 or 6 energy 30 power card. It's gonna be sick. And you're like, haven't we been through this before, dude? Come on.
Yeah, like it's not like an overly interesting card. I don't know why it's -1, but like Sure, if you want to put it in a negative deck or like Ravona, you want Ravona stonks.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, anti-venom stonks on this are crazy. Like anti-venom
I
hits
mean,
this, you're fucking breaking.
let's just be honest. You're playing Ravona on 2. You're playing Frigga on 4, and then you're. Oh no, never mind. Fuck. It's the last. No, it's the last card you played. Ah, damn. You got to get Magic on 3.
No, Mr. Negative, Mr. Negative. You do Mr.
Yeah.
Negative.
Well, you could
Mr.
go for
Negative.
on 4 and then this on 5 because of Ravona, right? Yeah, you could do that. and
No,
then
it's a
play
copy
another-
of the last card you played, not the next card.
Oh,
you
son
played.
of a bitch! God damn it.
Yeah. So no, you got to play Gore on. You got to play Magic on 3. You play Gore on 5. You play Frigga on 6
Uh-huh.
with Surtur,
Uh-huh.
or whoever the fuck you want. Then you got a second Gore on 7
Damn.
with the 2
dude.
drop.
Or just
Yeah.
Mr. Negative, right? As long as we flip it, we could play them both on the same turn. So you play Negative on 3, then you go Gore Frigga on 4.
Why didn't we think of Frigga and Mr. Negative? Maybe that's just a good Mr. Negative card.
There you go. Oh, there
All
you go. That makes a lot of sense, right?
I ain't mad at it then. Still
Double
bad.
big
got-
Iron Man.
Yeah, you have to play a lot of your negative cards on 5. Then it's got to be right.
Yeah. But anyways, why are we still talking about Frigga? Gore.
Yeah, I don't know. Gore. It just seems like a huge card, just like a huge card that I think is going to get bigger than any 6 drop in the game right now. Period. That's what I think. Like what's the biggest 6 drop in the game right now on average? Red Hulk probably.
Yeah, Red Hulk, yeah.
I mean, if you want to count Infinite with War Machine, sure, but like, let's say like on average, Red Hulk is probably like a 6, like 16, 17, 18-ish, whatever.
Yeah.
This, how much do you need for that? You need
7.
7 unrevealed cards
Yeah. To be
to
a
be a
613.
650. Yeah, to be a 613.
Yeah, that should be relatively easy to do. Yeah.
It's going to be especially if you play Kate Bishop. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. The decks I'm going to put it in, I don't know if you've seen them, but they kind of faded away. But when Age of Venom first came out, it was like Bast, Age of Venom, Jubilee, like White Tiger, like the on reveal versions of the
Yeah.
good cards like deck. Just perfect fit in there. But yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just any deck that wants like a big 6 drop, this is going to be good because there's on reveals everywhere.
But I still think you're going to have to build your deck to be mostly on reveals.
Yeah,
'Cause-
yeah.
yeah,
You're not putting this in Tribunal, like,
Right. And if the opponent only has like 2 or 3 on reveals in play and you only have 2 or 3, is it really that great? Not really.
No, probably not. But I would say Kate Bishop works awesome with this card
Sure, yeah.
because you can get like 3 on reveals from that one card.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be okay. It's like just a big 6 drop. Like it's not exciting, but it's just gonna be. I think it's just gonna be good.
Yeah, my first
sure.
reaction to this is like, holy shit! They completely butched the God Butcher here. Like, this was for the longest time data mined as destroy all 6 drops, no matter where
Yeah.
they are. So in the deck, in the hand.
Yeah, it was a 6-0, right?
Yeah, something like, or maybe it was -1. Who knows? It was, but just erased basically all the 6 drops from the game. This is a completely different effect. You're right. They just turn them into second iteration of Blob basically. So, yeah. I think you're right, kid. I think it's going to be maybe a little too good when it comes out. We'll see if they tone it down.
Yeah, we'll see. I guess
I'm definitely going to go Mr. Negative first. I think this just seems like an unbelievable card in Mr. Negative decks,
Oh,
and we're playing it with Frigga.
I don't know why you're gonna waste your money on Frigga, but sure. All right, and then the last one, King Eitri, is I think this is the Deadpool Diner card. This is gonna be the
Right.
free card of the month. He's a 1/2. Activate. Draw a card that didn't start in your deck. No big deal. What do you think here?
I was gonna say this is the card I'm gonna save my money on. What are you talking about? But if it's just Deadpool, then I'm fucked. Draw a card that didn't start in your deck. So that's like a extra draw. Is this Pot of Greed?
No, you need like okay. So this is gonna
From
be a
your
card that works with Thor because the hammer is a card that didn't start in your deck.
Oh,
Yeah.
This is gonna be a card that works with Thanos because the stones are cards that didn't. And this is going to be a card that works with Subterranea because the rocks didn't start in your deck.
Subterranean. I think it would be way better if it was on reveal instead of an activate. I think the activate's a pretty big nerf. I don't want to wait a turn like I want to cycle through my deck, right? Like if I'm playing Thanos or whatever, like, and it's a 1-drop anyway, like, so I think you definitely want it as an honor reveal. Maybe that was something they did to balance it out, so it's not, you know how much they hate out of Morlock, right? They hate the crystal,
Yeah.
so maybe they hate the deck thinning stuff, but
I
yeah, I don't know.
I think they wanted the Thor synergy with him.
Yeah. I think it's good.
So that way you
as an
play him
activate.
on one, and then you can have him there for when you play Thor. Then you can activate and draw the Mjolnir instead of wasting an energy later on in the game.
Right.
You can just have him there on one and pull your Mjolnir whenever you need to, or your Beta Ray Bill's Stormbreaker.
Let me say this. This is my first impression.
Okay.
This is my least excited card out of all these cards, and
That's
maybe
why it's
there's
the free
some cool
one.
stuff, but
I think
I'm
this
not,
is infinitely better than Frigga. You're high, dude.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't say it was worse than Frigga. It's my least excited. Like, I'm ready to fuck around with the Frigga,
All right.
and do some weird shit. This just seems like kind of boring,
Sure.
I don't know. What do you think, NerfHerder?
I mean, it goes in like 3 decks, realistically, too. Thanos as just another stone, basically, which is kind of cool.
Mhm.
I'll try it. But yeah, Thor, Beta Ray Bill, Jane Foster. Actually, I think this does a lot more for that deck than we're considering, because
Yeah.
Jane Foster's the only way to get that stuff out of your deck.
Yeah.
And now you have 2 versions of it, basically. So yeah, maybe it just makes Thor Lockjaw like good again, or maybe just doing King Eitri, Jane, Thor, Beta, and then 8 other cards is good enough. I think it's cool. I'm glad it exists, but yeah, it's super narrow and it's not really gonna change a whole lot in the meta, I guess you could say.
Yeah, you draw your hammer reliably. You throw that hammer down on 4. You throw misery down on 4 right on the hammer. You activate it twice. Misery
know he was gonna
value,
say that,
baby.
Did you know he was going to say that? You started laughing before you even started that sentence.
I thought. Okay, this is what I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say you play the Beta Ray Bill, then you activate the King Eitri same turn, right? So King Eitri's already on the board, right? So you go Beta Ray Bill, activate. So you pull it, and then next turn you go hammer Frigga. That's 2 hammers, baby. Then we play the Odin and all that other shit,
Oh,
Easy game.
God. Easy game.
I mean, the hammers would be a good card to copy with Frigga. I'm just saying.
Yeah, actually, now that you say that, I'm
It'd be
like,
great.
all right.
It'd be easier to do with the Thor hammer because he's a 3 cost.
Is she like Thor lore or something? People are gonna roast us for this.
She
I don't know.
is
she her
the
their mom?
mother of Balder, Hermod, and Tyr, who are the 3 gods of like different things in Norse mythology. She is Thor's and Loki's stepmother.
Okay. So she's a Thor person. So maybe she goes in Thor decks then.
Yeah.
She's
the goddess of marriage. She can do magic and shit.
Sweet.
She's not even his real mom.
Shut up, Mom.
Is there anything else that King Eitri, like what else like throws shit in your deck?
Dude,
Like
I mean, Airsham was the third thing I was going to
Airsham?
say, but that doesn't really count, really.
It's just gonna give you another draw. Just pull a random shit.
That's probably good for Arsham though. You have an extra energy. Like, I don't know. You think you'd take another card out of your deck?
I mean, that deck has plenty of like card slots to play with, so maybe. But
yeah, I mean, Darkhawk is gonna screw him over a little bit, but yeah, it's all right. That's why they nerfed it before. I don't know. This seems like a pretty cool season. I don't think it's as good as last season. Last season seemed like pretty awesome and pretty hype, but they got some good cards here that are pretty exciting.
Yeah, more interesting than good, but I think they're all like good for the game.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I'm pretty pumped for it, so that's good. And
that's a good
Diner's
point. Compared to last season, like, Toxin's like crazy card for bounce, like Scorned crazy card for discard, right? Agent Venom, whole new archetype. We don't have too much of that. I do like what you're saying, NerfHerder, with hopefully King Eitri revives this Beta Ray build deck a little bit, because that is a pretty fun deck to play. Like, all jokes aside, I do like playing that deck. So hopefully he could, especially if that's the Deadpool Diner card, we're all going to have it, right? So it'd be fun to mess around with the Asgard boys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, nice. All right.
Gore does seem kind of cracked. The more I think about it, kid, I think you're right about that.
Just look at the dev video. He was like a 630. When I saw 630, I'm like, these motherfuckers. Like these. Maybe it was on Onslaught Citadel. I don't know, but like, I was like, this is fucked up. Like 628. Then the next one was like 630. Like it was just insanity. I'm like, oh, these fuckers.
Yeah, and I mean, Taskmaster's an on-reveal card. Like that's a pretty good, Mr. Negative card. We get to go Gore Taskmaster, easy.
Sure. Yeah.
God, yeah. If there's 10 on reveals on the board, then it's just like a 619, right?
Yeah. It's definitely going to be crazier the first couple of days after it releases because everyone's going to be trying to make it work. But
yeah, exactly. That's hilarious. But yeah, I don't know. Sweet. I'm pretty pumped for it. Well, with that, NerfHerder, man, dude, thanks for coming on, man. We love hanging out with you. Yeah, it's great. Come on anytime.
Our number one guest.
Sweet.
We're
I'll take
How
it.
could you snap?
We're number one. Yeah, I love it. But yeah, hey, thanks, man. Tell people where they can find you. I mean, just I guess we should have done that before, but
Yeah, no, it's all good. YouTube at NerfHerder MS, and on Twitter, I guess X, whatever, same tag. And then also that blue sky thing with the butterfly. I don't know if people are really using that, but same thing over there. NerfHerder MS.
I don't even know what that is. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
It's a new it looks like old Twitter basically.
Oh, I'm just like slowly turning into a hard boomer and just like letting my mind go and forgetting all this new technology and everything and be like in 10 years I'll be like, where's that blue sky thing? I'm not gonna know what the fuck's going on. I already don't know what the fuck's going on, so I'm happy that way. Ignorance is bliss. No big deal. What do you got to say to the people, my man?
Well, I'm looking at this season, and I'm gonna be looking at the money in my bank account, and I'm gonna tell that money to frig off, because we're gonna spend some money on Frigga. Frigga is gonna frig off the money in my bank account. It's gonna cost me like $60 or whatever. We're gonna pick her up, probably copium for a day, get bored after losing a few games. And that's the Marvel Snap cycle. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to make it work. And I look forward to it, man. It should be fun. Big Dumb Idiots week next week. Shout out Gunny T. And even shout out Regis. I think featured the deck on his channel. So I mean, Gunny T's really, I can't believe how far that deck has come. So shout out to him. Shout out to NerfHerder, man, the boy. This is the friend of the show, the boy. I love having NerfHerder on.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Hell yeah, Agatha Scream, baby. You want to get infinite next season? No big deal's got your cooks. Follow him on Twitter. Peace.
Later.